Good to have you, Doc. We're talking about the Africa Union Day. Yesterday, we commemorated 63rd anniversary of that day. But really, from where you sit, have our politicians done us any good in terms of trying to unify us all Africans?
Well, let me say good morning to colleagues, analysts, and to your listeners. If you look at the situation that we find ourselves, I think that we need to be told that we are very far away from achieving the goals that the independence fighters of yesteryear, and the foundation that they laid. If you look at the geopolitics, we'll appreciate the fact that in as much as people may have good intentions to develop their countries and to develop this continent, we cannot underestimate the powers of those who are more or less advanced, who have an advanced civilization than those of Africa. And so if you underestimate their role in preventing us from growing to get to where we want to get to, then you are also underestimating your intelligence. In a not too distant, past, or maybe distant past, we all heard of what Dr. Kwame Nkrumah sought to do for this country and for the continent as a whole. So, fast track, we have not been able to ensure that unity. Even the idea of having one single currency for West Africa, so many years ago, it's been more than 30 years. We have not been able to achieve that. Is it ECHO or something?
Yes, ECHO. Right, ECHO. That's right.
We've not been able to achieve that. So sometimes you just don't understand what is happening. Is language barrier another problem that we've probably not averted our minds to? Because if I go to a French-speaking country, that means that the colonial masters, were French speakers, so they have imposed that language on them. I go to a French-speaking country, African country, and it's difficult to communicate just because I cannot speak French. And when they do come to any of the Anglophone listing, so language barrier has also militated against that kind of unity. Many suggested that if we are coming together to form a country, then we should take the South African language. What's the name? Is it Swahili or something like that? So we can adopt that one. And you see that the way Africans stick to their tribes and language is not going to be easy for that to be done. So if you go to, but why is it the case that Europe, for example, which is another continent, they speak different languages there, but they are able to advance their civilization to a point where, though, when they go for their meetings, you will see that most of them, if not all, will be speaking English, including the Germans, including the Danish, and all those people. So why is it difficult for us to also adopt one African language to that effect to become nationalized?
Right. Is it as easy? I mean, which country would want to lay down their guard so that another country's language will triumph? Do we go the English way? Do we go the French way? Or do we go the Lusophone way?
Well, the orientation is that adopting English language does not mean that we are going to pander to the whims and caprices of our colonial masters. It should be the fact that people say, other European non-English speakers, other non-English speaking European countries will say, they say that the English language is a street language. Therefore, there is nothing else that can be done because most people, if not all, understand that language. So we can easily adopt that. That will be a kind of staying away from issues of tribalism or one language being superior to the other. But the English language is a street language, and most people can speak that. So if you look at it from that perspective, we can start from there. We have tried trading amongst ourselves. Unfortunately, we virtually produce similar things without adding value. So every now and then, we are sending the things that we have to other places that they don't have. And so you will see that trading amongst ourselves has always been on the low. And that if, for example, we had to adopt one currency in East Africa, and we are able to trade among ourselves, gradually, that unity that we've been talking about for years will gradually come. And people are too tied to their country of origin more than this perspective of unity. There is that pride in that kind of thing. And so that in itself is also a factor that is militating against the proper unity that we've all been talking about.
Great.
The proper unity should not only be in terms of a concept. It should be a reality on the ground. And that should be backed by economic, indicators. So like if we have one currency that wherever you are going to within Africa and can be used, that is a starting point. That is a starting point.
Great.
Now they have euro. And it didn't start easily for them. But it is now a currency that most European countries are using.
Right.
So Britain got out. I think Denmark too is using their own distance.
That's right.
And also, yes.